Well, right now it's Tuesday, November 10th, 2020, and it's 7:30 in the evening. Now, I'll show you what I'm doing. I used to cook. That was one of my first major jobs, and I used to experiment with gourmet seasonings and all. And so, one of my favorites is this Black Man's Rub. I love that. I love to cook with plenty of onions. Now, I have to cook these onions very well. I put a little salt and a little pepper on them. But I have to cook them at a high temperature. And the reason why is because I use bourbon for seasoning, and I don't want any of the alcohol. I want the flavor from the bourbon to remain, but I do not want the alcohol. So that's why I'm cooking them like I'm doing. And I like, in addition to the Black Man's Rub, I like to put accent. I like to use coconut oil. And I like to use pepper. Use finely ground black pepper. I use a lot. Put a little bit more. It gives the food a little bit of a kick. But since Harmon will be eating it, I don't want to overdo it. So now the bourbon is pretty much gone, but the flavor remains in the onions. And I will cook the pork chop in with the onions. I marinated the pork chops yesterday. This bag of pork chops cost me about $6 because I got them for $1.99. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the tomatoes. I got these tomatoes for $1 at the 99.99 store. 99.99 store. So I am now cooking the tomatoes. And so the bourbon is the secret ingredient because I cook it on high. I love gas fire. I don't like cooking on electric elements. So this is what I'm going to do. I got these for $1 a piece at the 99.99 store. So I can eat those. That's where I do most of my shopping. I got hash browns at the 99 store. I got some of these nice potatoes at the 99 store. I got my egg whites at the 99 store. I can still smell that bourbon. And then I get the tortillas at the 99 store. And I get my snacks at the 99 store. My 99 store. Lots of spaghetti I get at the 99 store. I don't like wasting money. Get my napkins at the 99 store, but they're good sized napkins and they're only for $2. And so those are the big ones. But these are the ones I give Harmon, the cheap ones, 500 of them. But he doesn't know how to economize yet, so I have to start taking money out of the piggy bank. And I get these at the 99 store. I work out the price of them per unit so I know which is the best value. So there's going to be a lot of tomatoes and onions in here. It's going to be delicious. And after these all get cooked, then I will cook the pork chops with it, and it will be delicious. Let me taste this. Delicious. The bourbon gives it a little bit of a hot, very unusual taste. Some people cook with beer, but I prefer bourbon. And so, and I cook it so hot that it all evaporates. And I'll keep cooking it until the tomatoes are done. Then I will put the pork chops on. These are very good pork chops. So the whole meal, it's about 3 meals, maybe 4. Will cost me. Well, I got the onions at the 99-cent store. Maybe 6, 7, 8, $8.50 minus the cost of the Jim Beam. So, and I love that Black Man's Rub. That's extra, but I didn't count that. And then I love my favorite is, let's see, what is this? What happened to that Black Man sauce that I use? He has the best barbecue sauce, which is a hickory bourbon. I can't find that right now. Oh, here it is. It's kind of hard to find, but if you find it, it's very, very tasty. It's the best. The best sauce I think I've ever tasted. I have other sauces, but I may put a little bit in. I don't know. Here's another bottle of hickory bourbon. And then I have one which is smoky mesquite, and I added a little bit of a spoonful of bourbon in that, so it tastes pretty good. So after we eat, we are going to finish our schoolwork. And it's going to be very easy cleanup too, because I use paper plates. Now what I do is I pull out the skin of the tomato instead of pulling it out by boiling the tomatoes. I do it this way. So, or I'll do it with a fork. You can boil the tomatoes in water, but this is, I think, a little easier. So, that's what I'm going to do. So, oh, this is not right. I've got to, every chef should wear a hat. So, and I'm wearing my hat. So bon appetit.